Shalom, shalom. Let's go. I'm going to take a few minutes, let people kind of chime in. I'm going to send out some invites. Yeah, we're gonna get this conversation going today. Today, we're going to kind of dive into a deep topic. A topic that is only controversial because most people don't actually understand the scriptures within it. And within the conversation, we're hoping to build some better understanding. I got Yalos. I am Yalos, who's going to chime in with me on this one. And within the conversation, we're looking for edification. This isn't a combative conversation. What we're hoping to fulfill within this conversation, in this dialogue, is edification, right? Because there is a variety of different perspectives when it comes to this topic specifically. And me personally, I believe that there is room for us to actually grow room of understanding. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start us off with some music. I Am Yalos has a great new track out. It's called Mercy. Let's go.
In all things get understanding. That's what you said, y'all. I have hurt people, and people have hurt me. So I forgive the ones who hurt me due to the lack of understanding. And I pray whoever I hurt
Send some
and
invites
forgive
out.
me. Y'all, you said have mercy. You gave us mercy.
Hey, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Let the truth set me free. Let's go. Hey, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. They say the truth set me free. Hey, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Let the truth set me free. Hey, have mercy on me. Hey, they say the truth set me free.
Hey, forgive my mom, forgive my father, forgive my sister and my brother, and my auntie and my aunt, and my baby mom. What up? So much up in my life is pain, so much up in my life is pain. I don't know how to explain, but all I know is maintain. Why that had to happen to me? So much catastrophe, spirits after me, trying to master me. My innocence was taken from me, so crooked to me. And when I did speak, they overlooked me.
Shabbat
Abba,
shalom.
Yah, have
Shabbat
mercy
shalom.
on me. Abba, Yah, in the womb you birthed me. In this life I got bitter, as you know. Abba, Yah, please show me how to let it go.
Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Let the truth set me free. Hey, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. They say the truth set me free. Hey, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Let the truth set me free. Hey, have mercy on me.
Babylon is sick.
They say the truth set me free.
Destroy my people. Physical and mental abuse and sex abuse, these things are true. Without the Most High statutes and commandments, this could happen to you. This is what's gonna keep us life, and this is what's gonna keep us right. There's many people in this world not gonna say this lie. They gonna say deny this song. They gonna say don't buy this song. They gonna say Messiah is wrong. They gonna say Most High is wrong. Keep his statute and his laws, his ordinance accordingly. Keep his statute and his laws morally and orderly. All praises to the Most High. Feel the rhythm of the root.
And please forgive me if I ever did you wrong. Oh, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Let the truth set me free. Hey, Shalom, have mercy on me. Oh, hey, they say the truth set me free. Hey, have mercy on me. Hey, let the truth set me free. Hey, have mercy on me. Hey, they say the truth set me free. Hey,
Shalom. Luke 6, verse 36 through 37. Therefore be merciful as Abba Yah is merciful. And do not judge, and you should not be judged at all. Condemn not, and you should not be condemned at all. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven. All praises to the Most High.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Aki.
Shabbat shalom to you. All praises to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High.
How y'all doing?
Blessings, blessings.
Cooling. Where you from, bro?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm out in Denver, Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm out in Denver, Colorado. And just for context, what we're doing right now is we're building out conversations, dialogues, getting a better edification when it comes to actual scripture. Um, Got a series going on right now. It's called From Roots to Branches. Doing From Roots to Branches on YouTube. That's diving into history biblically, but also diving into historical history. And then within the conversations and the dialogues, what we're doing is we're building out conversations amongst community to get a better understanding of one another's perspectives, to get edification through scriptures, utilizing scriptures so that it becomes less of an argument. Because one of the things that I've noticed is, we have a tendency to argue, and I feel like it shouldn't be an argument when we're talking about edification. It should be a build, right? A community build of understanding. And the only way that we can get that understanding is to exchange each other's perspectives, be open-minded and willing to hear another person's perspective, even though we may not agree with it. There should be research on why we don't agree within it, and so that we can actually, get that understanding from one another. So, From Roots to Branches is kind of the build within that, and then within that, Yalos and myself, we've been building for quite a bit of time now, offline, but also online, and just exchanging information and getting perspective from one another. So this is just the beginning of that, and hopefully we'll be able to do it more so that we can just be able to like converse with y'all, converse with the community,
Right. Shalom to you. Shalom. All praises to the Most High on that.
All praises.
Woo.
So where you at today? How you feeling today, Aki? What's on your heart? What's on your mind? What's been before we get on the heart and mind, how are you doing today? How are you doing today?
I'm well. All praises to the Most High. It's Shabbat. It's the Sabbath.
Come.
In the spirit right now, before we, y'all before us, who and what can be against us. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you want to prepare for subjects like this, but when you strive to live in the spirit, you never know where the Ruach may take you. So I'm calm right now, excited, thankful to be alive, out here in this Florida weather, Jacksonville, Florida weather.
I'm jealous. I'm in the cold right now. It's like where I'm at right now, it's currently like 32 degrees, and the snow on the ground, you know what I'm saying? So
70.
Yeah. I'm a little jealous on that, but yeah.
I'm jealous, bro, because I've never seen the mountains before, and so I'm a little jealous myself. So I need to make it out that way and see some mountains.
Vice versa. Yeah.
Never been to that. The farthest I've been Midwest was Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Southwest was Texas. I never been past that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what it's like or what.
I'm originally from California, you know what I'm saying? So I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from Oakland and Vallejo, you know what I'm saying? But I live here in Colorado now. I lived in Vegas too, Las Vegas too. So I'm a West Coastian. I'm a West Coast kid.
Right. I've been little insight. I done traveled almost a lot from Miami all the way up to about New York, hitting major cities like Washington, D.C., places in North Carolina, South Carolina. I've been in Atlanta, just like the cities as you hit up to 95, and then cities when you hit like 10. Because Jacksonville is the gateway to Florida through 95, and it also has 10, so it goes like this, like an L shape. So, yeah, so that's what's up. Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, how you feeling?
I've been good, man. I've been busy. Today I'm resting, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I've just been on the grind, I teach, so I've been doing that grind. And then, I had a community build that I was involved in yesterday. So, and then I was just really mentally getting, prepared for what we're doing today, which is, where my excitement is for today, just because just the build that we had offline was something that gave me edification, just our exchange. And, outside of that, I've just been taking care of my kids and grinding and paying bills, you know what I'm saying? And staying in the word and studying and all of those great things as well. And just really ready for like these next transitions, within where the Most High is going to be taking me and taking the people who I'm involved in building with, like yourself, you know?
All praises. All praises. All praises, man. And I want to say I appreciate you for your time. Of course, we talk a lot outside of the lives and stuff like that. So I do appreciate and I do respect your time and your wisdom and knowledge and understanding that, you know, from different perspectives. And, you know, as I learn from you, you learn from me, and just continue building. So thank you for that, bro.
No, man. Much appreciated on mine, man. We miss Bakar, no question.
All praises.
And then one thing too, as we build out this conversation, for those who are chiming in, we're gonna open it up so that y'all can join in. And actually, if you have some insight and some things that you would like to add on to the conversation, scripturally, perspective wise, this isn't just me and Yalos and I just conversing. This is a community build, you know. So like, we want to make sure that y'all are contributing to the conversation as well with insight that you like to contribute. So yeah, but so, you know, this conversation that we diving into is a heavy conversation, just based off of belief systems, you know, and what people study and their backgrounds of where they come from, you know what I'm saying? So when we're talking about this conversation of polygyny, there's a variety of different ways to look at it, because it can be toxic if not done right.
Right.
And it can be controversial if not taught right.
Right.
So, you know, I've seen a few conversations and dialogues online as of recent, not just on Instagram, but also on TikTok, that have kind of dived into this idea of polygyny. And I feel, you know, when we're talking about the Hebraic walk, being Hebrew versus like, and that's one thing that we also have to understand as a people, that this isn't a religion.
Right.
This isn't a religion, y'all. This is a bloodline, right? And
right.
within the bloodline, there's going to be different perspectives. Family has disputes all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of, you know, family arguments and disagreements. It doesn't mean that we have to be combative with each other and not like each other or not try to build with one another just because we have a difference of perspective. In fact, that's where conversation should actually be had.
Right.
So, you know, online, we've both seen conversations that have been very, you know, opposite of what their belief system when it comes to this specific topic. And
Right.
I wanted to go ahead, and Yalos wanted to go ahead and really kind of build up a platform where we can build out understanding, and to better understand, for one, what is, so, you know, I did a breakdown on my TikTok on that, the difference between polygamy, which is not polygyny. It's not biblical. Polygamy is not biblical. Okay. Polygyny is biblical. Okay. And I think it's an important thing for us to understand first, like, what is the difference between polygamy, which the world practices, and polygyny, which is biblical. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. So would you like to dive on that? Like, what's your thoughts on that? And yeah.
You talking about far as like polygamy or polygyny?
Polygyny. Yeah. What's your thoughts on both, I should say? Okay. The world's perspective of what they practice within polygamy and the biblical practice of polygyny. What's your thoughts on that?
Polygamy. Okay. Well, Yah says, come up out the world. Okay. Well, you know, polygamy is lust. I'm going to just start it off with lust. I'm going to start it off with feeling fleshly desires, you know, without living in the spirit, the lack of knowledge. It's uncleanness. It's not righteous. Because anything that's founded in righteousness is of Yah. So that term right there is not of Yah. You know what I'm saying? You see what comes out of polygamy: diseases, broken spirits, uncleanliness, children who don't have fathers, lack of understanding. It's just a seed and a virus. So it's just basically virus when you having multiple women and multiple men, not just a man having multiple women. It could be a woman having multiple men, and vice versa.
Or mix and mingle in it. Yeah.
People don't know there's a spirit realm to this. You take on other people's spirits, demons, all the things that they struggle for. You know what I'm saying? And if man, I'm just saying man, as a man, if Yah created Adam first, if Yah created Adam first, and we're in the image and likeness of the Most High, that means Yah, the Most High, is a giver. So whatever that spirit of that man is going to give to that woman. Women are receivers because they are multipliers. So if you have a man that's not clean mentally, spiritually, physically, that woman's going to receive that and she's going to multiply that. So that's why I stand on polygamy. When it's not righteousness, you just dwelling in a disease pot, a virus pot, a parasite pot, and you're unfulfilled. You know what I'm saying? And then two, it's not practiced. That's right there. What if I'm not correctly? The Romans did all that stuff and everything.
I'm gonna do let me do the breakdown of what it is.
Okay.
And the difference, all right? Based off of Wikipedia.
Okay.
So polygamy refers to a person, male or female, being married to two or more people at the same time. That's polygamy, right? Male or female being married to two or more people at the same time. Polygyny refers to a man in particular being married to two or more women at the same time. So the difference between it is, like when you're talking about some of the modern like polygamists and something that's big here. I'm in Denver, Colorado. So if you have any context of what that is out here, it's kind of similar to like a Portland or a Seattle. It's very liberal in the ways that we move out here. So when you're talking about polygamy, like you might have like two women who are together with a boyfriend, right? Or you know what I'm saying? Or it might be like a woman who has, a boyfriend and a girlfriend and they're in a relationship.
Right.
And the flip, what polygyny is, and we're talking about it biblically, right? The biblical breakdown of what polygyny is when we're talking about the easiest way that I could say is Abram, right? Abram. When we're talking about Hagar and we're talking about Sarah, right? And
hold on, I mean for the one who know who Abram is, Abraham.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So Abraham and when he has Sarah and Hagar, right? And initially, Hagar started out as Sarah's handmaid, but when he laid with her, right? When he laid with Hagar, I should say, and he had a child and conceived with that became his wife as well. And you see different examples of this happening within Jacob, right? And when he took on first Leah, and then the father first gave him Leah,
right?
And then after he gave him Leah, then Jacob worked another 7 years, and he worked for Rebecca, right? So these are examples, and there's other examples as you go through Torah. David, when he took on several wives. If you really read into David, one when he actually was going after that one gentleman, and she pleaded for him not to kill the rest of the people, and he took her and her handmaid on as his wives. Like that's another example. And then there's a variety of different examples of what polygyny was within biblical terms. And if you go into the New Testament, there are references on them as well. You know what I'm saying? So there's a variety of different, I lost them. There's a variety of different ways of looking at that are biblical. And I think one of the things that ends up happening, let me see here. Let me see if I can find them. One of the things that happens is that we have a lot of religious context that takes us out of the context of what it is biblically. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can find y'all. Bam, there we go. Let's get them back. Let's see. Except you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
There you go. But yeah, the difference within it is the way that it's practiced. The reason that they did it, not everybody would, like, you had to have a stature, you had to have actual a means, you had to be able to provide, right? Majority of the, like, and when we're talking about the patriarchs of the word, these dudes who were in the Old Testament, these men were very affluent, like they weren't without. So like, because they had servants, They had like they were traveling, they were definitely nomads. They had travel and tents and things like that. But within that, they also had cattle, they had servants, they had maids. It was a variety of different things. They were very rich and affluent. So it wasn't the average person who was actually practicing that. And I think that's a whole nother conversation that's deeper when we start getting into the actual depths of what this is.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ask me a question.
Okay. No. So what's your thoughts on that when it comes to like, you know, the biblical actual layout of what it is? When we're talking about, for one, I should ask you this question. What's your thoughts on polygyny? Like, are you an advocate of it? Are you against it? What's your thoughts around it?
Well, I'm gonna say I'm an advocate of it, because it is righteous to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But it has to be done righteously, because a man honestly shouldn't even be looking for a wife if he's not on his purpose in the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Agreed. So, but if you're first of all, you got to have Yah first, and if Yah wants to add to that man, then Yah's will, let Yah's will be done. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it has to be done righteous, because if not, it's going to be confusion. You know what I'm saying? It's going to lead down the road. You know what I'm saying? So I am an advocate for it. But of course, we're not in the land, of course, to do that. And we're not even like, it's just so much like we in captivity right now. So basically, it would be hard for us to do that, because we are in spiritual Babylon right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of people that's growing up in Babylon and modern society, their mind is already molded, you know what I'm saying, to modern way of thinking. So anytime you touch on these subjects like that, and if somebody's not biblically knowledgeable about it, it's automatically going to be against it, because their brain has been molded to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? But I am a big, huge advocate for it. But it cannot be, like I said, it cannot be the worldly way. You know what I'm saying? A man has to be righteous. He has to be in the spirit. He's going to have to be able to understand himself and understand if he has more than one wife, he has to understand each of their personalities, each of their talents. It's like, it's a lot that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of rules that come with that, because last thing you want to do, you don't want to have I'm just being funny, but I'm being for real. You don't want to have a house full of women that don't feel secure, because it's know what I'm saying? Because if the man is unstable, it's just going to trickle down. You know what
And
I'm
I
saying?
think that's a conversation to have. Like, I feel that there are a lot of Hebrew brothers who may advocate for this, right?
Right.
Not for the right reasons, right? They have a lust on their heart, or they may have their own agenda at hand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the thing about it is like when you say righteous, that's a key thing to really focus on, because and I say this to Codys all the time, like, don't follow anybody who ain't following the word first.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? If the first thing in his walk, you notice that he's not biblically sound, he's not actually following, and I don't care whether it be polygyny or just one man that you with. If he ain't leading you within Torah, if he ain't leading you within the word, then you should be a question of that leadership, because what is he rooted in? Right. And I feel like, you know, yesterday I was involved with a communal conversation, and like the community has a variety of different outlooks and belief systems. Me personally, I'm always going to go to the Torah as a way to resolve the issues that are happening within the Black community. Like, you gonna ask me what's wrong with the Black community? We ain't got principles. Right. we ain't got basic principles on how we live in our lives.
Yeah, no, like morals and all of that stuff. You know,
exactly. Like we're missing that as a community. Now, not all Black folks are going to be in agreement where I'm coming from, because not all of them believe in the Bible. Not all of them believe in Torah, right? But when we're talking about, okay, laws, statutes, commandments, right? When we're talking about the basics of what we all need, because when we're talking about the United States, when we're talking about a country, the first thing that they establish is law, right? So when we're talking about your household, when we're talking about your household, because your household is a country unto itself.
Right.
Right? You got to have a law for your children to abide by. You have to have a law for your wife to agree to and to be in like commune with you to abide by. And
Right.
if that law isn't established within your country, within your household, then you're running in chaos. You're running off of emotion. You're running off of what the world tells you is right or wrong. And a lot of people, they think that we're crazy because we're like, nah, like this book right here that we have, this actually lets me know exactly how I should live my life. And then within that, I leave my children within this book. And within that, I leave my life within this book.
Right.
So there's a lot of disagreements on like if the book has been changed and what's been changed within the book. Okay, I get that. But outside of the changes, them laws don't change though. Not if you know them. They don't change, y'all. And if we're living according to those laws, that's how we actually conduct our lives. And then when we're talking about the breakdown of polygyny, polygyny is lawful when done, like Yalo said, righteously.
Correct. And I want to piggyback on that. Remember, our ancestors, when they broke the commandments of the Most High, let's go back to Deuteronomy 28.
Yeah.
When you read verses 1 through 14, these are the blessings. Now, if you read 15 through 68, those are the curses. Imagine all our people, if our ancestors kept the commandments to this very day, and their offspring kept the commandments, and their offspring kept the commandments right then and there, we would have all the blessings that are in Deuteronomy 28. And all of that stuff, even like polygyny, it wouldn't even be a discussed topic because everybody will already be on one with what the Most High already has said. But therefore, of course, fortunately, here we are today. You know what I'm saying? We're coming back to the Most High, but we had to experience these curses. So by us experiencing these curses, a lot of stuff has been hidden from us, kept from us, destroyed in us. We lost who we were. And it shows you how far, when we were up here, how far we fell to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So we're living in a state of, like how you said, if you don't know, you're going to be tossed to and fro. You're going to be double-minded. You know what I'm saying? And also, that's just what happens. You know what I'm saying? But now, as we're coming back to the law and the spirit of the Most High, he's going to give you discernment. If he were to allow you to do polygyny, he's going to give you spiritual discernment based upon the law, because the law is the foundation of him. And if anybody that's not rooted in the law, of course, you already know what's that. They're not trying to abide. It's going to be unstable. But everybody from the husband to the wife to the kids, if they're in one accordance with the law, it's bound to flourish. And then throughout the time process, Yah's going to give the man discernment. If he has polygyny, multiple wives, he's going to give him wisdom to how to manage this. He's going to give the wife wisdom how to manage it. And he's also going to give the children wisdom and knowledge and understanding how to manage it. How to manage it. But like I said, it has to be, and like you said, it has to be rooted in the Most High. You know what I'm saying?
I think like one of the things that comes to mind is like the book of Ezra and the book of Nehemiah, when they're like rebuilding the wall, but they're also rediscovering their bloodlines and their backgrounds of where they come from. I feel like as a people, as we're awakening, we're coming back to that, right? We're rediscovering what is lawful, what isn't lawful. We're rediscovering what works and what doesn't work. And I will say, like, I talk about polygyny on posts, right? One of the things that I have said is that it's not for everyone. Not everyone is matured. There's a maturity that comes within taking on those responsibilities. And the thing about it is we have to understand it for that specifically. It's a responsibility. So it's not like, oh, I can have this and I can have all these women. No, if you thinking like that, you already too immature to even be walking in that path. In fact, it's going to be destroyed because the Most High is not going to allow that to flourish. No. But when the Most High has ordained it, because he sees that there is a maturity in a righteous man who is willing to do what is needed in order to take care of his family, because within that, the thing you have to understand is walking on that path. For one, you have to walk a narrow path. You have to be righteous. You have to be responsible. You got to take care of your business. And if you ain't taking care of your business, to walk in that is to destroy yourself before you even understand what you're doing. Right. So like, it is something that is lawful, but I would say like self-evaluate your intent, self-evaluate what it is between you and your ishi, and like know that like if y'all are pursuing something that it takes a level of responsibility and maturity in order to actually make something like that actually flourish and work.
Right. I think like, okay. I think the first thing I ain't gonna say I think. I know the first thing he should say to a woman, I believe in having multiple wives. That don't mean that he necessarily wants it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But as a man who knows who he is, you know what I'm saying? I think you should establish that communication at first. And if that woman, you know, our Hebraic word is bond. Our based upon our way of living is our contract is our word, is our agreement. You know what I'm saying? So if she agrees to that, long as the man, that's what I said, long as the man, everything starts with the man. If the man communicates that and she's in agreement with that, then cool. And then now y'all, you got to understand the laws and the ramifications of that. But if a man is courting a woman and he doesn't mention it right then and there, and you hit her with, hey, I got a wife over here, or I got somebody over here, you basically, you know what I'm saying? Where's your morality there? Where's your righteousness in that? You left her in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Now this woman is something that she didn't agree to. You know what I'm saying? So I think our word is our bond. You know what I'm saying? So it like you said, it's a maturity level. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it can be done. But you have to be in a stable place that Yah has to groom you up to that. Yah has to exalt you unto that. You know what I'm saying? But just going out there and doing that, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's like I said, you are accountable if you lead somebody astray. If you brought a woman into a polygamous relationship and you didn't communicate that with her, and she's wavering and stumbling, you are held for that. You know what I'm saying? You are held accountable for that. So when you do that, you got to make sure as a man you stand on principle of what Yah said. If not, he's gonna wreak havoc in your household. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So I want to take it to I want to take this in another direction. All right. Still in on the same topic, but in a different direction. When we're talking, so another reality that we also have to, I feel, touch on, and I say I feel because this is me saying this, is when we're talking about the conversation. For one, this is a two-part question. For one, baby mamas and baby daddies,
Right.
And the other is when you lay with a woman, right? And that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand. I feel like there's a lot of pushback when we're talking about what real marriage is, right? Biblically, right? According to Torah, not Western society's version of it, but what is, because the other thing that I've been talking on, and I know that you've touched on this as well, is that a lot of us, not knowing it, are already practicing it, not even realizing it, because we are taking care of our responsibilities, but also because, you know, we may have been with one person and now are engaged with another person. You know what I'm saying? So what's your thoughts when it comes to that? For one, laying with somebody and that actually being consummation of a marriage, and the conversation between unbeknownst to you being in a polygynous situation because you are dealing with multiple partners and children within the equation.
Okay.
I know it's layered. Yeah.
You are in a polygynous relationship. You got multiple women. If you got multiple children from women, you are in a polygamous relationship because there's a bond right you and that child. You know what I'm saying? Whether that woman married to somebody else, you still have a, you know what I'm saying? You still have a polygynous relationship. You have a bond with that woman, for, you know what I'm saying, with that child. You know what I'm saying? It's just that when you have that, you have to make sure you touch base with her husband. Everybody got to be on one accord. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, if two of your baby mamas, you're not together with them and they're off, you still have a relationship with them. You are, if you want to bring the child in this, you're worse than an infidel if you don't take care of that child. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you have to be in a relationship. Now, within that situation right there, there's law that stands in there. Well, that if that woman is married to that man, even though you have a child, you still have to respect the authority of that man's household. You know what I'm saying? So there's law in that as well too. So yeah, it is a polygamous relationship. There's an understanding relationship, but the goal with that is that, you know, are you still on your purpose as a man? Because if I look at it like this, we reap the repercussions of not having a marriage and doing it right way. I mean, not the right way. So we got a bad result from that. Now we got to take responsibility of that. So you have to have that relationship. If you living in Yah, you still have to have that relationship to bring that child up. You know what I'm saying? Either way. And then far as your other question is, you land with the woman, yes, I do believe that's marriage. You know what I'm saying? Because you went into that woman. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's marriage. Now, you just, with that situation, unknowingly, now that you got the wisdom and knowledge and understanding, if y'all are not together, still strive to keep the commandments of the Most High. That's all I got to say with that. Because at the end of the day, you learn from your lesson. You know what I'm saying? Not being patient, not waiting on Yah. You know what I'm saying? Not listening to what your mother and your father saying. You know what I'm saying? You hear the laws in that, the honor, and you know what I'm saying? Your mother, hey, your father say, wait, don't rush and things. There's all these spiritual laws that's in that. You know what I'm saying? But if you go into a woman, you already created about a lifetime bond. You are still married to that woman. You know what I'm saying? Through that connection. I don't care what nobody else says. Even if you're not physically together, even if that woman is married to another man, there's still a bond there that you have to take care of. Because, okay, all right, this is how polygyny works with that. What if your baby mother's, and I say that what if the mother of your child is married to another man, right? Her husband dies, right? You know what I'm saying? So she has no covering. To help as a man, you know what I'm saying? You take relief off her by still taking care of your child, making sure that woman is straight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if you're not together, that's just morally. You know what I'm saying? That's morally. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, but if she doesn't want no communication with that, she don't want to be involved with you on that, just take care of your child. You know what I'm saying? And let Yah work it out. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it, you know.
I don't get too much. I'll get a little bit into my personal situation. I don't put my personal situation out there because there's people involved. You know what I'm saying? Right. But within my own personal situation, the children that I have with two different mothers, I'm very responsible with them. We're all in communication. We work together. We definitely have disagreements, but more times than not, we're going to go ahead and figure out how to go ahead and balance the situation in order for the children. Right, the children have to be one of the roots that we focus on to make sure that responsibilities are taken care of. So, like, I think when we talk about Western society and the ways that Western society operates, the first thing that a lot of us been trained to do since the 1970s is to go straight to the courthouse to go ahead and put something on him so that he can have child support on him. And anytime that he's out of alignment, I can go ahead and sick the police on him. I can sick the court on him. And the reality of it is that those should be conversations and negotiations that happen between you and them in order to make sure, because as a man, you should be taking care of your responsibilities regardless. And I'm also somebody who grew up without his father in his house. You know what I'm saying? Without his father around. So I know what the implications are for me not to be present for my children.
Right.
So because of that, I'm going to work hard to make sure that even if I'm in disagreements with the mothers, that we still have a reasonable means of communication to get the work done. Right? Like if they hit me up and like, yo, I need you to do this, then I know that I need to be there to go ahead and take care of those responsibilities. Right? Especially if we had already made an agreement for those things to be able to happen. You know what I'm saying? And the ways that the court system has been able to infiltrate us is that's where the divide and conquer is within our community, right? We allow the system. That's why it says, come out of Babylon, my children, come out of her, right? Like we should be able to negotiate and able to have these conversations regardless if we're on the same page and if the emotional connection is the same or not. You know, as a woman and as a man, we should understand the implications of allowing them to be in our lives, right? In our situations.
Right. I look at that as a gift and a curse at the same time.
I get you.
You know,
I'm listening still till I'm moving.
All right. Yeah, I'm glad you touched on the court system, because the court system benefits on our lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They're able to go into the woman's case, you know what I'm saying, to give her benefits and things of that nature to keep the man about the household, you know what I'm saying, to get to the child, to keep that cycle going. But also, when you look at the spiritual side of that, is that if we were doing what we were supposed to be doing, none of that should have happened. You know what I'm saying? So now we have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Like, the court system is a gift and a curse at the same time. Because yes, you have women out there, you have Jezebels, you got men who have and Delilahs out there. You have men who got righteous and pure intentions, whether they know the law or not, but still have a heart to want to, you know, build and create. You know what I'm saying? You got parasitic women that feed off that. You know what I'm saying? And then the man, lack of knowledge and discernment, get in that situation, and boom, she gone. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? So, but I look at that as a hey, all right, you want to go ahead and do that? All right, if you put me on child support, cool. I'm gonna pay my child support, cool. Hey, if I don't have no access to the child, at least I learned my lesson in the Most High, or I learned my lesson right now. The child's getting taken care of. Boom, I did my due diligence. I won't fall into that situation again. I hopefully learn from that situation. You know what I'm saying? So there's blessings and there's curses with the court system at the same time. But overall, if we were doing what we're supposed to do, understanding what's going on outside the physical, none of this stuff would be going on right now. You know what I'm saying? None of it.
One thing I'll touch on to that, man, is within the physical, right?
Right.
I feel that it's an important thing for us to understand that laying with somebody does come with responsibilities, right? Like, if you laying with somebody, you should only be laying with them with the expectations of planting a seed and actually, you know what I'm saying, like producing life. So like, I feel like when we're talking about our community and we're talking about our culture, a lot of the time we lay with each other for pleasure, not thinking about like the outcome of like life being produced from that. And I think that's a dangerous thing for us to like think that like it's okay to just, and I feel like when you understand that when you lay with someone, nah, that's consummation, bro. Now that's responsibility, right? It makes you look at it different, because when you're just doing it for pleasure, then you can just run, right? But when you're doing it, understanding that if I lay with this person, then I have to be responsible for this person. It's a different context. And I think that's one of the things that people, you know, we got to be married to have sex. I get that. But like, think about it like this. Whoever you lay with, for one, that DNA that goes into that woman is going to be carried within that woman for at least 10, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Yep. And then within that, you are now responsible, right? So think about, okay, if I lay with this person who looks good, fine, right? I got to be responsible for this person, though. It gives a whole nother context of like the attraction that you have for that person. Now you start evaluating that person. Now you start looking at that person. Is this a good person that I would really want to spend the rest of my life with? Does this person have the same values that I have? Do they believe in the same things that I believe in? You got to go through all of that before you actually make a decision like, okay, this is the style of person that I want to lay with. Because once you lay and you know that that person is going to be your responsibility, it's going to give you a whole nother context in the ways that you live. And I think that's one of the things that people don't understand when we're talking about this biblical walk. We're talking about polygyny. When we're talking about like the actual, like, if you lay with someone, you're married to them. I think people think we just talking like, oh, you just, nah, like there's actually a righteousness to it when you understand it. It's not like we just are saying like, Western marriage is out the door. We're saying, nah, like if you lay with someone, there's responsibility that comes within it. And within that responsibility, like you got to be prepared for it. And if you're not, then you should question if you should lay with that person.
Right. Now, and I agree with that as well too. Let's get on biblical. Let's add biblical on that.
Let's do it.
Now, for all the ones, this is for my Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? Because the law has been given to us. And the law says there shall be no whoredom in Israel. You know what I'm saying? So by it being no whoredom, all the daughters of Zion, all the daughters of Yasharah, Israel, whatever you want to call it, either were at home with their father or with their husband. You know what I'm saying? There was no in between. And then there's laws upon that, man, because let's see, if a man lay with a woman and she screamed, like she hollers out, yeah, that man is accountable for that. He raped that woman. But if that man lay down with that woman and she doesn't say nothing, she's in agreement. The law said y'all married. Y'all said there's no in between. There's no in between. Y'all said, hey, you're not going to be making my daughters whoredom like that. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to be a whoremonger, because when you look at the biblical spiritual marriage, Yah is all about marriage, because it's him, the Ruach, you want to say him, the Ruach, and the Son, but it's all one. Not that three Trinity stuff, but it's all one. Not Trinity stuff, not that Christian Catholic stuff, not the Father, the Son. No. All that stuff is one. So when you interrupt the holy marriage of what's been going on, you're messing up Yah's image. You're messing up his blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Of how things. You know what I'm saying? Why you think he calls Yasharah Israel his bride?
Exactly.
He doesn't want us to go whoring. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want us to go whoring amongst all these other nations. He's the lead. You know what I'm saying? So if we're doing that, bro, we're breaking commandments. We're mixing in DNA and all this unclean, defiled stuff. So when you don't, that's why if you look at a lot of American marriages today, and I'm not gonna say the Hebrew community, but if you look at the marriages that's going on in the world, let's look at it and let's just be real about it. I'm glad you touched on this. 70-80% of marriages are being broken up right now because they're getting married up under Jesus, Allah, Buddha, and all of these stuff, right? And our people are caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? So Yah's gonna break all that stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Unless he wants to wake up somebody in that and bring them out. That's different. But all that horn that's going on right now, a lot of marriages are being broken up because they're not in the spiritual essence of the Most High. A lot of people in this world, Hebrew or not, or know that they're Hebrew or whatever denomination they're getting married up on the false gods and false things. That's why a lot of this stuff is going on. Everybody's going whoring off other gods, not just us. You know what I'm saying? Not just us, but Yah chose us to walk in his righteousness and his likeness. You know what I'm saying? That way, these other nations and people in the community within itself, look what's going to happen to you if you don't follow my laws. Now think about it. Why you think a lot of women are breaking up in marriages right now? The women are like the bride. You know what I'm saying? They're like the spiritual essence of like what Yah does with his ruach. You know what I'm saying? The best way to hit a man in his heart, allow his wife to sleep around and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna hit us men in our heart and it's gonna mess us up. What you think is happening right now? You know what I'm saying? What you think is happening right now? Y'all is showing us. You gonna see how I feel when you go horn. Right. I'm gonna be set apart from you. I'm gonna go do this and make you this, that, and the third. So it's just not just beyond. It's beyond all of that. It's basically the spiritual representation of the Most High. Hey, he didn't want us whoring, going to other guys and sleeping with the other nation women and all that stuff. He didn't want us to do that. You know what I'm saying? So now you look at the curses. Look what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's how I look at it, man. There should be no whoredom. All the women in Zion were either with they fathers or with the man. If the man had three wives or whatever like that, it was by the father who agreed to have that happen. You know what I'm saying? And in the most honor the father of those daughters, because he did it. He's doing it righteousness in the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High deals with men. So polygyny, is only done right if you understand the spiritual mind of it. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, it's gonna fail, bro. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to sound long-winded, but I had to get that out.
You ain't long winded, bro. You breaking down. Yeah, you speaking through spirit, man. You doing what you're supposed to be doing.
You got it
Uh,
down, bro. You know?
yeah, definitely. Yes. Johanna on here. Do a man should think about, like her husband was saying, a man should think about if he wants to be with the woman for the rest of his life. I think that's essential. You know what I'm saying? Like if we aren't actually going for, and I think that's one of the blessings of being within this walk, because you're walking righteous, because you understand that there is a higher purpose of what you're doing and everything that you're doing. Then you're not just pursuing somebody just for the sake of pursuing them. You're pursuing them because you see, for one, you see the Most High in them. Because you see the Most High in them, you want to make sure that you do it the righteous way within the ways that you pursue that person. And like that is a sacred bond, right? Even sex itself is an acronym. It's a sacred energy exchange. So
Right.
like when we're talking about the sacred energy exchange, what makes it sacred? It makes it sacred when that person is in alignment with the Most High. And when you both are in alignment with the Most High, then right now, to be honest with you, love making itself is a communication to the Most High when you
Right.
understand it and it's
Right.
done correctly.
A lot of people don't know that. You know,
Exactly.
it's a direct line of that. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the power. I don't think I don't think we know, or we're coming to a point of, since like what we do really matters in this world, bro. And especially the power that we have. You know what I'm saying? The influence that we have on the world, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if we're doing this right, bro, it has to be a reason why they push pornography, why they push dating, because dating even should be in the category. It's called courting. Dating is basically saying, I'm gonna sleep around, I'm gonna get with this person, I'm gonna sleep around. You're practicing divorce. You know what I'm saying? You're practicing breaking up. Oh,
Come on now.
basically, like if a woman say, I don't feel it right now, I don't feel it, boom, she can up and leave. You're spiritually in her mind, whether she knows or not, she's going to say, I can jump from one man to one man, one man to one man. Her bond, when she, even if a good man or a righteous man in front of her, is going to make it very difficult for her to bond with that man, because she has different experiences, you know what I'm saying? And with a man too, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you jumping from woman to woman to woman to woman to woman, all her bodily fluids, her DNA is soaking in your pores. You're picking up all her stuff as well too, and then you're bringing her DNA into another woman's DNA, and then it's all defiled, bro. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I, I think it's an important thing for men to understand that they can be whoremongers. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? Just because you can don't mean you should. And the
right,
thing is like there's an integrity and righteousness within understanding how to be with one woman,
right,
right? And how to master that in itself. I think a lot of the time when people hear polygyny, they think men are just going to be out here whoremongering. But
right.
like when you think about Jacob, you know, or when you think about, yeah, if you think about Jacob, he worked for Rachel and Leah. He worked for Leah. He actually worked for Rachel, but he worked for Leah initially. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't whoremongering. He wasn't with a bunch of women before he had worked for this one that he wanted. And I think that that's another thing that we have to understand. Just because you can, don't mean you should.
Yeah,
And meaning that, like, yeah, men have the ability to be attracted to multiple women, but like, are we nation building?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Are we building something that's going to be generational? Is this going to be something that's going to be edifying for our bloodline? Are we actually thinking about it as a team? You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have that intent and you're just out there trying to whoremonger, you're just trying to collect women, then you should actually be in question of what it is you're doing. And I think that's one of the things that it becomes controversial only because it does take a lot of integrity to do it righteously.
Right. I want to challenge. You're absolutely correct on that. I want to challenge the ones, and you're entitled to your opinion. Whoever's in here or whoever sees this video and y'all will in the future. Deuteronomy 25. Deuteronomy 25 through 10. Deuteronomy 25, verse 5 through 10. Clear example of polygyny. If you got time to go look at it, Deuteronomy 25, 5 through 10. All right. Say if a woman and a husband, and that husband has a brother, right? And I kind of spoke a little earlier.
Yeah, we talked about this.
If if they're in the tribe, in the Hebrew community, if that woman's husband has died, right, and her husband has a brother, that brother, to keep the bloodline, to keep the inheritance, is supposed to take on that woman as his wife. And just see if that brother has a wife already. You see that? That's polygyny right there within itself. You know what I'm saying? And if the brother of that Hebrew man didn't take it, he was gonna get his face spit on. I believe she was gonna spit in his face. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to interrupt not just the inheritance of that family. You have that man's name. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I got a call. You have that man's name, bro. So I'm gonna say this again. If you have a woman who is married, she's a wife to a husband, and this husband has a brother. This husband dies. This man, the man of that husband, has to go into this woman to make her a wife. That way, for one, she's not she's a widow, of course, you know what I'm saying? But to keep that bond going, to keep that man's name going, keep that man's legacy going. You know what I'm saying? What if that woman had a child? It's almost like, I don't know if it's in Ecclesiasticus or in the Bible. I mean, the other part I know it's been separated. It's almost like if that husband was not there no more, and that man is in the righteousness of Yah, it's almost like the man's father is still there. You know what I'm saying? Because they still in alignment, you know what I'm saying, with the Most High. You know? And as you grow into that, that son or that daughter can grow and say, okay, my father has died, but I have another male example who's in Yah, can guide that one with the wisdom and knowledge and understanding, just in case if that same thing happened to that daughter already has an understanding what could happen, you know what I'm saying, but still be led righteous man. You know what I'm saying? That's why it is so important for us men, and I say all of it. Yes, there's horse women's out there. Yes, there's Jezebels out there. But at the end of the day, men are supposed to take responsibility for their actions, because if they don't, it trickles down. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're in the position right now. You know what I'm saying? You household of Israel, you're gonna mess up your household in your actual home. You know what I'm saying? So that's how important we have to be in Yah. Yah shows us the spiritual discernment of these things. We are accountable for actions, and fortunately, like I said earlier, we lost ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's where the attack was, you know what I'm saying? When we start talking about like the systemic attacks on our community, that's where the systemic attacks is specifically on the household, specifically on marriage, specifically on like the divorce rate and how high it is, you know? And I feel like that's why this conversation around polygyny is an important one, because we have to have context of like what we're actually battling, and like why it's an important thing for us to understand our heritage, our lineage, our root, and how we actually navigated it, because we have a lot of Western society ideology on what it is and how it is we operate. We have a lot of Westernized ideology on the ways that we are constructing our marriages and our families and our households. And if we're called to be out of Babylon, then we got to know our roots. We got to know our lineage. We got to know where we come from. And like we're taught that this is wrong, but the examples that they utilize to call it wrong is from like people who done it wrong. Like when we start talking about Mormons and all these other like communities that have utilized these narratives and propagated and made it propaganda, like that's what people like when we start talking about this, that's what people go to. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about actual biblical principles that you can actually research and go into and see how they practiced it and how righteously they did it. So like I understand like, you know, people's and there's a lot of people who are coming out of like Christianity. There's a lot of people who are shedding off a lot of Christian ideology. I'm not knocking y'all either. I'm just saying like when you understand the Torah and the word from a Hebraic actual standpoint, you look at the book different, you understand it different. And I think like if you're going into it with a religious mindset, you're not going to understand the actual truth and the ways that we're supposed to be living and navigating this this Babylon system.
Right. All right. And I'm glad that you all praise that you point that out. Now let's think about what happened to the children of Israel after Joseph died, and then a new Pharaoh came into play, right?
We talked
Hey,
about yeah.
all right. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this again. And I'm glad somebody said 7 women shall. Yes, you're right. We're gonna touch that. I'm glad you brought that up 2 times. Shalom to you. Shabbat shalom to you. I'm glad you brought that out. We're gonna touch on that. Yes, the new Pharaoh came in. Didn't know Joseph. They seen the Hebrews over there in Goshen. They were multiplying. You know what I'm saying? At a fast rate. And they
A very fast rate.
That Pharaoh was wise. He said, these Hebrews could outnumber us and they can be pretty much one with our enemies and overtake us. Now let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. I'm gonna send you into Egypt again. I'm gonna send you into Egypt again. We're gonna send you in bondage again. And if we're in Egypt again, you think the same thing is gonna happen again? These people, these elites. And we just seen a video. We just seen a video of a white lady who's supposedly Israeli, or I mean not Israeli, a Jew. She's part of the Jewish, that fake Jew stuff. She said young black men are gonna be a problem. They're gonna be a problem. Not for one, young black men are gonna wake up and see what's going on. And if they understand righteous and then they spray the righteous seed, that's the same thing that's going to happen again. Last days, 7 women will approach one man. Not saying all women are righteous that's going to approach one man. It's going to be having that man discernment of that. He's going to be able to choose if he wants one or not. But at the same time, this is happening again. So
There's nothing new under the sun.
yeah. And also, I mean, and we're going to go into the benefits of polygamy relationships as well too. But at the same time, we know that we can outnumber them. We're scattered amongst the 4 corners of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I know it sounds messed up. There's a lot of fatherless children out there. There's a lot of orphans. I'm going to make myself clear, y'all, and I want y'all to understand what I'm saying right now. Yah in the beginning said, I'm going to make man to know good and evil. I'm going to say this again. Yah said, I'm going to make man to know good and evil. So we have to go through some evil stuff to understand what righteousness is, right? We broke the curses. We broke the commandments. We got scattered amongst the 4 corners. Wisdom says, the book says, Yah draws closer. He draws close to the fatherless. He draws close to the orphans. You know what I'm saying? So you have men and women, it's just baby mama and baby daddies everywhere. Y'all can, because they're seeking a father. They're seeking a father. You know what I'm saying? So what greater father than to have? It is Yah. So, right. You know what I'm saying? So it's messed up. A lot of this baby mama and drama stuff happens right now. But Yah is collecting who he can hear. You know what I'm saying? Who he can hear. So a lot of this stuff is happening for a greater purpose of it. You know what I'm saying?
God.
I had this. I guess the Spirit told me to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that was necessary. I think like that's a necessary thing to talk about, because when we're talking about the breakdown of the black family, we're talking about the breakdown of the black community. You know what I'm saying? So-called black communities, so-called black family. You know,
right.
The thing that we have to understand is that like the responsibility factor is something that they say that men have been running away from, but the things that I've been noticing is more times than not, there's been more men nowadays, I feel like in our present, that have been stepping up for that responsibility, right. Even in the sense of taking on the duty for fathers who weren't there for their children, right? So like, you know, the man who actually gets with the woman who already has children, but he wants to be a father for those children. That's an important narrative, because that's village. You know what I'm saying? That's village. That's community. That's how we build. And I think that nowadays where we're at, it's just like I've been saying, is we're reestablishing that understanding, that relationship to who we are and where we come from within our bloodline and within our community. With that being said, you know, as we are moving within this polygyny conversation, let's talk about some of the benefits.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? What are some of the benefits of being able to like actually nation build? Because I do call that nation building. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about the village aspect, but we're also talking about, you know, what I say, like your own household is your kingdom. Oh, hold up, my phone's slipping. Your whole household is your kingdom, right? And then what understanding that your whole household is your kingdom, like what are the benefits of having a polygynous situation within your kingdom?
All right. You want me, all right.
Yeah, I'm putting a question out there.
Okay. All right, now that I got the knowledge that I know now, humbly I say that, because first I have to say Yah has to allow that to happen first. You know what I'm saying? If Yah moves a man to have multiple wives, is by his finger. With that, by him moving that man to have multiple wives, let's just say Yah gave that man 5 wives. Me personally, I would figure out what wife has what talent. If there's a wife that cooked better than all the rest of the wives, I would have her teach one wife, another wife, or have her teach all the wives, right, how to cook, right? And and just that way, if she ever was to get sick, you have somebody to step up. You know what I'm saying? So you got somebody that can actually step up, and while she's like resting and healing, you got somebody else, or you got the sisters to step in. You know what I'm saying? And take care of the kids. So if she has children, you got the other sister wives to help take care of the child, because they're all in Yah. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make sure those children are taking accountability for their actions. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make sure everything's correct. Even if the husband's out at work, they're there to help nurture her and also nurture the kids. What if one of the other wives were good at teaching? You know what I'm saying? While the other one's cooking, she could be teaching the children. You know what I'm saying? And everything, nurturing the children. You know what I'm saying? But if she gets sick, she can also have somebody that can teach how to teach along with her, have an assistant with her, just in case she's down. You know what I'm saying? It lightens the load. You know what I'm saying? What if you have one sister that's financially literate, admitted? She can sit right next to her husband. They can discuss financial matters. You know what I'm saying? And everything. You have to look at the woman's talents. You know what I'm saying? And be able to, and as a man, be able to balance that stuff out. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it like that. And also, it keeps the money flowing within it. And that way, you don't have to rely on Babylon. You know what I'm saying? That way, you don't have to rely on the system. You know what I'm saying? Because once the system gets involved, you know what I'm saying, it's all out of whack. It keeps the community, it keeps the money, and it multiplies. If one woman, it says, if put it this way, in scripture, it says a righteous woman is given to a righteous man. So, an
evil woman is given to an evil man.
A wicked woman is given to an evil man, right? You know? So think about it like this. If you got you got one righteous man in Yah, and you got 5 righteous women, you already know one, and women are multipliers. She's going to multiply whatever that man gives her in Yah. You know what I'm saying? You got the other 4, they can do the same thing. It's going to multiply. Now you have a whole nation right then and there as well. You know what I'm saying? And also, what if one woman, Yah wills, say if you had one wife and Yah wills her not to have a child, right? Or if she she couldn't have a child. And that man, if his desire is to have a child, right? He can go directly to Yah about it. They have a discuss. You know what I'm saying? You can bring another. Are you going to deny that man's right, his right to have a child? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Only if Yah wills it. But at the same time, if that man wants a child, are you as a woman going to deny that? Are you going to deny that? You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's how I look at it.
And like touching on that, that was actually one of the things with Jacob. You know what I'm saying? When he initially wanted Rachel, right? But Leah was the one who produced the most children from him, and he didn't initially want Leah. You know what I'm saying? Like he got Joseph out of Rachel, and he got his other young son. I forgot what's the youngest one? It was a Gad.
Benjamin. Was it Benjamin?
It might have been Benjamin.
You said out of Rebecca or Leah?
Yeah, there we go. Rebecca.
I think it was Benjamin. Benjamin.
Yeah, yeah. But like, you know, initially Leah, Benjamin, thank you. Um Initially Leah had produced more children than Rebecca.
Right.
So like that's the thing that we also have to understand. The desire of the heart isn't always the desire of the Most High. Sometimes the Most High is actually going to lead what needs to happen outside of your preferences, outside of your wants. And
Right.
when we're talking about a polygynous situation can only happen under the guidance of the Most High. He ain't gonna allow anything that he doesn't want to happen. If
Right.
if he does allow it, or if you do get in a situation that he doesn't agree with, the Most High is gonna destroy it. He's not gonna allow it to be fruitful and multiply. And
Right.
when we're talking about like the children's situation, like the other thing too, I'll put it this way: like I come from a grandmother who produced 13 children out of her. So I think that's one of the things that another thing, if a man is desire is to be fruitful and multiply, and this one woman is multiplying 13 children, that's a lot of
Right.
you know, multiplying. And I think when we're talking about that situation of being fruitful and multiplying, and the team that you're talking about, everybody taking on those responsibilities, more times than not, when a woman really sits down and thinks about it, she would probably want more help within that situation than not. So I think that righteously, when we were talking about it righteously, there's so many different ways to actually look at it. Rachel and Leah, thank you.
Right.
There's so many righteous ways to look at it outside of the world's lust. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of the time, thank you for correcting this. I think a lot of the time we think about it as a lustful way because the world puts out polygamy as lustful, and it is. Like when you're talking about the roots of what it is and the ways that people practice it, they're practicing it out of a carnal want. But when
Right.
we're talking about the righteousness of the ways that the Most High has ordained it, he's talking about everybody being able to maximize and to actually be fruitful financially, in abundance, in everything that we do when it's done righteously. So yeah, man.
That's like what you call it, Ishmael. You know what I'm saying? Ishmael was still, you know what I'm saying? Even though that situation had happened with Ishmael, y'all still prospered him. You know.
Right.
So it's just, you know, I think a lot of the polygamy topic is based around feelings. You know what I'm saying? How people, especially around the women, you know what I'm saying? The women, like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Because the enemy has got into the mind of our women. You know what I'm saying? And everything. So I just kind of think like once we drop all Christianity, you know what I'm saying, and all this modern society, this Western way of thinking, and just really, I would say really not really focus on polygyny and just really understand the essence of the Most High. I think with time, y'all will direct our paths or direct whoever paths that to come to that topic. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that 100%. I think like the focus on it is something that isn't for everyone, and it's something that we really shouldn't be focused. You should really be focused on your relationship with the Most High. Like if you think if your first thought is like I want multiple wives, you ain't in line with the Most High. Yo, like your first objective should always be your biblical studies, you being in that word, and also your relationship with the Most High, dying daily, right? Killing your flesh. There shouldn't be a flesh a want within the situation at all.
Shalom. Peace to you. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, man. You know,
I agree with that one.
it's at the end of the day, righteous people humbly, like, see, the thing about it is righteous people, whether it be a woman or a man, if you are in a polygamous relationship, a righteous woman is going to check another woman. Like, just say if you have multiple wives, one is veering off, you know what I'm saying? As a man, you still check, but then also a righteous woman is a pillar to her husband. You know what I'm saying? So if one is acting up, a righteous woman will step in play. Women know women. You know what I'm saying? So when you have a righteous woman, because it says, scripture says, a woman plots way before men. So you can have one woman that can be veering off in a right, because men, we can't see everything. That's just what it is. We can't see everything. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you have a righteous woman, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of that, she can spot a woman that's veering off or doing some messed up stuff. You know what I'm saying? And be like, you know what I'm saying? That's just one of the benefits of polygynous. You know what I'm saying? Polygamy relationships. You know what I'm saying? A woman can spot things, you know, in that situation. So you have, yeah, as long as it's done righteous, man. I'm like I said, I'm for it, you know.
You know, I feel like these conversations have to be continuous, you know, like these styles of conversations are something that bring edification, you know, like I
Yeah.
also want to open it up too, like if there's people who would actually like to contribute or have something to say in reference to the conversation, I definitely would like to you know, hear what you got to say. We gonna take it as questions as right now, like I'm not gonna let anybody on the live necessarily, just because I feel like right now we're not prepared for like 3 people on the live. But I would definitely like to address any statements or questions that are put into the feed, and then we can go ahead and talk about it from there.
Okay. I think Johanna Myrtle says something. I think righteous poly eliminates fear and jealousy within the community, promotes love, healing within Yah. Yah is love, not hate. So even myself as a woman, if I'm getting jealous, that's not of Yah. That you know what? I'm glad that you said that, because you know, that's almost like saying when you go against somebody that's doing something righteous, you're going against Yah. You're going against the will of Yah. So you're absolutely right on that. Women are naturally attracted to men that are desired by women, and men are naturally attracted to women that have past. You are correct. You're absolutely correct, because women are not dumb. Women are smart. You know what I'm saying? Very smart. They know if that's just like if a man is with a beautiful woman, the woman may not be righteous, but if just her appearance alone, they're gonna look at like, how did he get her? You know what I'm saying? And if she's definitely a righteous woman and she's morally and she's by his side, they're gonna, because women are intrigued to that. They want that. Naturally, it's wired in them. They want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Here's a question right here, or not a question or a statement maybe, or it is a question. I haven't been here for the start, but what do y'all think about y'all saying men and women become one flesh? Um, so the context of becoming one flesh is that you can actually become one flesh with multiple women. Like if you really want to get down to the root of that, like I feel that that's why I actually utilize the scriptures. I don't know if y'all seen the post, but I utilize the scriptures with the actual 7 women who were prepared and the 7 who weren't, right? With the actual what is it, the candles within the New Testament. And the thing that we have to understand is that the Most High himself, he utilized that narrative, but he utilized that narrative because it was a practice, right? It was a practice that was happening on regularly within the Hebraic community. So when we're talking about that, I think we have to understand that we have a lot of ideology that have been pushed based off of the preferences of wherever they subscribe to, based off of their religious background. So when we're actually reading the Bible, you'll see it even in the New Testament that there was examples of these polygynous relationships happening regularly, even in the New Testament. Even Hamashiach, he utilizes that situation and he actually explains it through a polygynous actual layout.
Right. 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 Yeah. And I agree with that, because even if you have 4 wives or 5 wives, if y'all all are moving as one, y'all are still one.
One
You know,
flesh.
one flesh. You know what I'm saying? Yah, son, Yahshua Mashiach, man, woman, child. It's all one. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be on one accord. You know, all our people are like the sand of the sea. We're everywhere. You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. All right. Um, what are your I mean, until somebody asks some questions on it, what are some more benefits of polygamy on your end, Neil?
I think like when we're talking about actual nation building, the village aspect, you know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Like everybody actually contributing to taking care of the children, everybody taking care of the responsibilities within the household. And when we're talking about like coming out of Babylon, in my personal belief, one of the key aspects of coming out of Babylon is like actually building your own businesses, being entrepreneurs, right?
Right.
And being able to support that. And if you have women who are forward thinking, who are talented, who actually are developing their own businesses, if they have talents within cooking and they want to be able to provide meals for people, if they're well versed in crocheting and they want to make like clothes, like there's different ways to look at this situation outside of even just the family. Like on a business aspect, you can actually build empires within that. And then when everybody's on the same accord, the ways that y'all operate and navigate that with having one person who is really brilliant within finances and able to balance those books, another person who has a vision and is able to follow through on that vision, and everybody is working with one another, you can build a true empire. And when we're talking about, and this is just real, when we're talking about communities like Jewish people, like Asian people, like Italians that have been able to build, if you go into like San Francisco, you have Chinatown. If you go into New York and different places, you got Little Italy. Like the reason that they are able to establish those things is because they keep everything within their community. They keep the
Correct.
business within their community. They
Right.
keep everything that they build within that community. And one of the things that have hurt us the most as a black, so-called black community is that we always outsource everything that we do instead of actually keeping it within. We should have a little Hebrew community, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever you want to call it, we should be able to have our own restaurants. We should be able to have our own clothing stores. Now, does it have to be physical? Not necessarily. We could do a lot of that online, but when we're talking about like polygyny, actually that's the foundations of those styles of ideals. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And
Right.
being fruitful and multiply, you're teaching your children how to do those things as well. You're teaching your children how to be entrepreneurs, and you're passing down the trade to them so that they can take these ideas and expand them.
Right.
And that's one thing that, you know, is very biblical. A lot of people who are like succeeding within the world, whether they be Christian or Jewish, they're utilizing biblical principles to be able to actually get their success more so than we are.
Yeah, and I heard my godfather who taught me truth. He told me, and I had mentioned this to you about it as well too. In Zambia, it's a Christian-based community society in Zambia where they're Christians and they're allowed to have 3 wives. Ain't that something?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. That happens, you know, depending on the culture a lot in Africa. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say all African cultures are of that, but like I know that there are certain nations within Africa that is just a natural, regular practice. That, and it's not even something that they even trip about. It's not even something heavily discussed. It's just what it is.
it is. It's like imagine how people like, because we're seeking. We're seeking. Just imagine that we're already there. We at that point, or none of that stuff happened, right? Like how you said, we wouldn't even be thinking this. This is just a day-to-day living, day-to-day process. We go through, we live, and we handle our business. And yeah, we wouldn't even be having these other conversations like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and
You
but
know,
we,
that's one thing I've been really pushing is the kingdom mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel that like the 400 years has been up, but it's on us to change the mindset. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are still in slavery within the minds. Be not conformed to the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of the mind. You know what I'm saying? So like when we're talking about the transformation of the mind, we're talking about thinking as a kingdom mindset.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. It's all about protecting, you know, if y'all wiped us all away and just left one man with 10 women and say start all over again, are you gonna go against y'all and his will based upon how you feel? You know what I'm saying? So it's all about what at the end of the day it's all about what y'all will. You know what I'm saying? And if he exalts you to have that, then y'all will be done and be prosperous in it, you know. But if not, then hey, be satisfied with your portion that you may have, you know what I'm saying? And work within y'all within that as well too, you know. Some people, even if you win this Hebrew walk, even if you know who you are, not everybody's going to get married. That's just what it is. Some people are not going to get married, and that's just what it is. And y'all will be their husband. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that in a righteous way. So you got some people that take that out of context, but I mean that in a righteous way. Y'all will be your husband, man and the woman, because we are his bride. You know what I'm saying? You might have another purpose in his will. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, it's permittable, and I stand on that. But just because I know it's permittable doesn't mean every man wants multiple wives. Again, you know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure we touch base on that again, you know, for the ones that's like just now. Just because it's permittable by law doesn't mean that every man desires that, you know, especially if he already got a righteous wife at home, you know what I'm saying? You know, so that's why I stand on it, you know.
Uh, touching on Johanna's question that she has over here. So my experience within it has been, to be honest with you, out of necessity. Like I didn't initially get into the situation that I got into with polygyny at the forefront. That's just honest, right? But I was blessed because the Most High has actually given me two women who I've been working with within raising children, who actually are very empathetic. They're very understanding, and we definitely have had our disagreements, but like our main goal is to make sure that our children are taken care of. So like I didn't initially go into the situation because I wasn't in the truth when the situations actually came about, to be honest with you. That's just honesty. But within it, I feel like the Most High has had grace on me within my situations, and within that, they're very motivated, very driven, very open-minded in the ways that we've moved and navigated. Have we had disagreements? Yeah, we've had all that. But like the family unit, when it comes to all of us having the bigger picture, has been something that has been ongoing. And like for context, my oldest daughter right now is 15. So she's about to be 16. For us to go through that long of a time and actually being able to navigate that, it took a long time. It wasn't easy. It was a lot of disagreements and a lot of failures on my part as a man, to be honest with you. And then within that, it was me taking accountability and me being consistent and persistent within wanting to be a father for my children outside of our disagreements. So now that I'm in the truth and I'm teaching my children the truth, it actually puts everything more in context for everything that I've built within my family. But yeah, that's kind of how I navigated it, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, the more that I understood the biblical truth, it gave me more context of how Hebrews move. And that took time.
Right. Yeah, man, and well said. That's well said. You know, like I said, in all things, you know, Matthew, I look at it like this as well. Matthew 6. If that is a desire on your heart, or if Yah blesses you with that, remember Matthew 6:33. Seek the kingdom of righteousness, and everything shall be added onto you. So if you are in that kind of relationship, you know what I'm saying, Yah will give you the tools, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to how to build in that. And it takes time. It takes patience. It takes humbleness, humility, understanding, and everybody's, I would say, role, you know, within the Most High, you know what I'm saying, to move accordingly. And I'm glad that you touched on that. Yeah, it's going to be some disagreements. You're dealing with feelings. You're dealing with life. You're dealing with every day is a different challenge. So someday, you know, if you are in that, or like I said, if it happens to you, you just expect that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be because you're dealing with a lot of emotions. Women, they go through menopause. You got women that go through monthly cycles. You know what I'm saying? So just having understanding and just moving accordingly and having, you know, doing the will of Yah. He will give you the discernment how to navigate that as well too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you touched on that. You putting your foundation on Yah, in Yah. You know what I'm saying?
All praises to the Most High for that, you know, all praises. And I feel, you know, the more that I've gotten into the truth, the more that I've had tools and resources to be able to navigate my family efficiently. And that's all praises to the Most High, because without that, I think I would be mentally and spiritually in chaos. So the Most High gave me a foundation when I didn't have one, gave me direction when I didn't have direction, and showed me how to be righteous and integrity within the women that I deal with and within my children as well. So yeah, all praises to the Most High.
Right. And then also, with that, Yah will, you're doing righteous deeds, he's gonna bless it. He's an understanding father. He knows where we messed up at. He knows where we at. You know what I'm saying? So with the lesson comes correction, and correction comes with a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So long as whoever you are, if you're listening to this, or I myself, or you know what I'm saying, long as we stay rooted in Yah, you know what I'm saying, live in the spirit of Yah, you know what I'm saying, he will navigate us through this, you know what I'm saying, and keep him as the main focus on that. You know what I'm saying? Your light will shine amongst men. It will shine against women. It will shine against you too. I mean, not against, but it'll shine that it'll be noticeable. You know what I'm saying? And y'all bless it if he's there. You know what I'm saying? So, hey.
And I think like the base of the conversation, everything that we talked about is be rooted in the Most High.
Right.
Like outside of everything that we talked about, whether you agree or disagree. And I feel like this is another thing too, for those who are chiming in, when we are talking about Christianity, right? We ain't talking against Christ. We actually are talking against the ideologies of the constructs of everything that goes within religion itself. And that religion could come in a variety of different packages. It don't have to be, it comes in a variety of different packages. The thing about being in this Hebraic truth is that we are not religious. This is a bloodline, right? We're claiming who we are within that Torah, within our ritual, within our traditions and our culture. And I think that those who don't understand what we're talking about, I know the Hebrews do, but those who don't understand what we're talking about within this Hebraic truth, this isn't a religion, y'all. This is not religion. This is like actual, like where we come from, how we move, how we navigate our culture at the root of who we are. Right. And the reason that we speak in the ways that we do is because our culture can actually flourish and be abundant when we're walking according to our traditions and where we come from within that Torah. And that's our map, our book of laws, so that us as a nation, we actually have a root on how to navigate. And so, the thing about religion is religion was given to us. It was fed to us. And it wasn't something that we took on. And like when we understand the actual, exactly. When we understand the history, is it actually roots us in who we are now and where we're about to go. Right. And that's why I say we got to think of as a kingdom mindset, right? Ye are a chosen generation, a peculiar people, a royal priesthood. A royal priesthood,
a set apart nation, a Kadesh.
Exactly.
I'm glad you chimed on that. Religion and bloodline. You can't put you really can't put an image on a bloodline, but you can put an image on a religion. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's the difference right there. People. Let me see. I was talking to Yalos yesterday how the Spain has stopped. Oh yeah. Zaire, on to you. Yeah. The brother, the Ak in the conversation brought up the how Spain, they stopped us when, I guess over there in Portugal or what the case may be, had stopped us and made laws and things of that nature to teach us and stop us not to have, to keep us from having multiple wives. So
we were multiplying. They did the same thing in Egypt and Rome and Spain. Anytime we start galvanizing and start actually having a plan, they gonna stop that, or they gonna try to stop it.
Yeah, we was already. Anytime, man. It's like every time we come to our walk, somebody got to say something about it. There's something trashed about it. There's something thrown about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just to keep us from stopping from what we were supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And the other thing that we also have to remember when we're talking about the New Testament, they were unpacking, or they were in the midst of Rome. So a lot of the things that you hear Paul talk about, and a lot of the things that you even hear them reference, is because they actually had a Roman law system that was over them. So they were talking politically correct. If you really want to get down to the root of it, in the New Testament, there's a lot of political correctness according to the land that they were in captive in. So the things that happen in Torah and the things that happen, because you got to also understand in Torah we were able to move and navigate in the ways that we want, and then Jerusalem was our own city, so the ways that we operated within Jerusalem was according to Torah, you know,
Right.
and the laws that were in Torah. But when we got in captive in these different places, then we had to follow their laws, and that
Right.
impacted the ways that they actually put the New Testament together.
See, I'm glad that you said that. See, remember y'all had said don't put nobody above you, right? And now, you know, after we went whoring and stuff after other guys, that's why whoredom is not permitted. You know what I'm saying? Now that we have another people over us, a dumb people, you know what I'm saying, a double-minded people, look on right now. You know what I'm saying? So we're not practicing our custom. We're not practicing who we are as an identity. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? So our identity got stripped away from us. Our fruits got stripped away from us, and all of that stuff. So, and then the ones who grew up without knowing it, they're just thinking it's everyday, like the Truman Show. He grew up thinking that what he was in was normal society until something sparked. He seen something by divine intervention. He started looking at stuff and started piecing it, and he escaped the matrix. You know what I'm saying? And found his identity. You know what I'm saying? All
That's a
praise.
good word, Aki. I appreciate your wisdom on that.
Yeah.
Well, I actually got some things I got to get to throughout the day as for the Shabbat. But you know, I believe that this is going to be an ongoing conversation of things that we do. This ain't the
Right.
only one that we do. We're going to bring other people included within the conversation, like Zael, and two times possibly as well, and some of the other folks who have chimed in. We might.
To hear, like, I want some sisters to chime in on this as well too. You know what I'm saying? What are their feelings? What are their thoughts about it? What are their thoughts about the Most High with that conversation? You know what I'm saying? Or are you gonna, even the brothers, are you gonna struggle with what Yah says, or are you gonna go based off feeling? You know what I'm saying? So these are things that I like to hear as well too. You know. Let me see what's going on in here. Shalom, sister. Arise with Karen. I can't say her name. I met that sister in person at Yarden's event. Amaria Leticia. Shalom to you as well. Zael, Shabbat Shalom to you as well. Wilson here. Chime in. Vitamin D113, Shalom to you. Shabbat Shalom to you. Brother Edward, Shabbat Shalom to you. Judah Son Warriors.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to you. Johanna Myrtle, Shabbat Shalom. Oh yeah.
Shabbat Shalom.
We got all right, I'm gonna just go ahead and for the ones who tuned in, I myself, Yalos, humbly saying, Il7 and Johanna Myrtle, y'all willing got a song together. So hopefully by Passover, coming into Passover, it get released and y'all get a chance to enjoy that as well too. So Shabbat Shalom on that as well too. See.
Shabbat Shalom to all of y'all. Even if y'all don't even like get down with the Shabbat Shalom to you.
Right.
Just because, you know, this is a day of rest for those who don't understand, you know what I'm saying? This is the day of rest. And I'm definitely going to take in that rest today.
Right. Yeah, rest in the Most High. Man, I appreciate you, brother.
Always.
It's always a pleasure. It's always good. We build, like I said, off camera, like how you said off camera as well too. We build with other brothers and sisters as well too, off camera as well too. Hopefully y'all willing, we can, like you said, continue doing things like this, doing lives, maybe some upcoming events as well too. You know what I'm saying? And just give perspective, thought, in the Most High, and whatever topic that we're talking about to help build our, not tear down, but build our community. You know what I'm saying? And be open to hear, because I use this saying now that even though if I have wisdom and knowledge and understanding, when I step in the building, I want to be on the last row because I want to learn as well too. You know.
Let's you want to close out with some prayer?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
All right. All praises to the Most High. Hallelujah. Thank you, Abba Yah, for allowing us to be well on this Sabbath day, alive on this Sabbath day, your day of rest. You said your Sabbath day is a sign that is between me and you. You know, and you also said, if you love me, keep my commandments, worship me in spirit and truth. So we pray that we give us the eyes to see, the ears to hear, live in the spirit, and the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to navigate through this message. And I pray that each and everyone who received this message today can gain some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on it. And I pray that we all are in good health, well, and strength. And for all who are going through a situation, always put Yah first. Seek his wisdom, seek his knowledge, seek his understanding, and have faith, because our faith is our biggest possession. No matter what goes on in this world, if the enemy does anything to you, if anything happens, just know that Yah is first. He doesn't allow things happen unless it's his will. But it's our faith. It's our faith that we can step out and no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Hallelujah. All praise to
Hallelujah.
And we send shalom your way. For the ones who don't know, shalom is peace and blessings. It's basically peace, you know. All praise to the Most High. Shabbat shalom. Hallelujah.
Shalom. Shalom. All praises to the Most High. We appreciate y'all joining us. Just like I said, we're going to be doing these more often. We don't got any set dates of what we're going to be doing it, but as the Most High has put it onto our hearts, we'll be building out these conversations. So, yeah, much Baruch on everyone who has joined us. Barakatah, Tawada, and bless up to all of y'all. Shalom.
Shalom.
Hallelujah.